Good morning, everybody. My name is P. Raviteja, working as an assistant professor in Triple Department in MLR Institute of Technology. So now I am discussing about basic electrical engineering subject. In previous classes we learned about basic concepts of electrical engineering and Kirchhoff laws and types of sources and types of element. In this class I am going to explain about the important rule easy to solve many series circuit, that is called voltage divided circuit, voltage division rule and current division rule and network theorems. So this voltage division rule is useful in series circuits only. We can easily solve by without finding the current. We can solve the voltage drop across each resistor in series network. So here one circuit is there, that is Vs is DC source, plus and minus is there. So this source is called voltage, DC voltage source, and two resistors are connected in series, R1 and R2. So current flowing through the circuit is current I, denotes with I, and what is I am indicating V1 and V2. Those V1 and V2 are called voltage drops across resistor R1 and resistor R2. So whenever voltage is supplied through the supply, then what happens? Current flowing through the resistor R1 and resistor R2. Then what happens whenever current flowing through the resistor? What will happen? There is a drop occurs. So I already told what is the formula for the drop, I into R1. Okay, so by applying KVL through the circuit, Vs is the source. So V1, V2 are the drops. So we know that from KCL, sum of all voltage sources is equal to voltage drops. Here Vs is the source and V1, V2 are the drops. So Vs is equal to V1 plus V2. What is V1? Voltage drop across R1, that is equal to I into R1. What about V2? Voltage drop across R2, that is I into R2. So from this we can common it as I. So V equal to I into R1 plus R2. By solving this equation, by substituting V1 equal to I into R1, I equal to V by R1 plus R2. By substituting these values in this equation, V1, what is V1 equal to I into R1. So what is I from the total circuit? I equal to V by R1 plus R2, because R1 and R2 are in series. So total, if I am substituting I value here, then V1 is equal to V into R1 by R1 plus R2. So for this voltage drop across R1, this is for, okay, for V2 what will become? V into R2 by R1 plus R2. Okay, from this we can easily say that if either resistor R3 is connected in series with the R1 and R2, then what about drop across R3? We can easily say that V3 is equal to V into R3 by R1 plus R2 plus R3. How we are saying? By observing the equation, voltage drop across at one element is equal to the total voltage into that resistor. Drop at which resistance we are finding? The resistance by total resistance, sum of total resistance. In this way we can find for any number of elements we can find the voltage drop across that element without finding the current. So V1, V2 are the fractions of Vs depending only on the ratio of the resistance. This is depend upon the ratio of the resistance, because total voltage is constant. Okay, this is voltage divided circuit. So basing on this voltage divided circuit also from many years in SSC JEE there are many questions are there. Okay, so very important rule and easy rule to solve the series circuits. The voltage divided circuit is applicable to series circuits only. Now current divider rule. So as I said, voltage division rule is applicable to series circuits. Here current divider rule is used to parallel circuit. So by using Ohm's law, V equal to I1 into R1, V equal to I2 into R2. Because it is same, because voltage is same. This is a parallel circuit. So voltage across R1 is equal to the voltage across R2. What about current here? IS is the supply current or supply source. So this is divides at a node. So current divides into I1 and I2. What is I1? So current flowing through the resistor R1, and I2 is the current flowing through the resistor R2. So from this we can write it as, by Ohm's law, resistors are connected in parallel. V equal to I1 into R1 is equal to I2 into R2 is equal to IS into R equivalent. Because ISC means total supply current, R equivalent means the parallel combination. So what is, when these two are connected, two resistors are connected in parallel, the total resistance is R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So I1, what is I1? From this we can find I1 equal to V by R1. So what is V value? By substituting this value IS into R1 R2 by R1 plus R2, we can get R2 by R1 plus R2 into IS. For I2, I2 is equal to IS into R1 by R1 plus R2. So by observing these equations, we can say that if you want to find current in two elements connected in parallel, then if you the current flowing through the one element is equal to the total current into opposite element by the total resistance. Okay, here two resistors are connected, R1 and R2. So I need to find current through R1. So I know total current. Without finding voltage, we can find the current flowing through each resistance by using this current division rule. Okay, so to finding current through the R1, we know the total current, that is IS, into opposite resistance which is opposite to the R1, that is R2 by R1 plus R2. If you want to find current through the R2, that is I2 is equal to IS means total current into opposite resistance. What is opposite to the resistance R2? R1 by R1 plus R2. So this is the current division rule used to solve the currents through each element connected in parallel. So this current divider rule is used to find the current through each element in parallel circuits. Okay. Next, we will do problem on this equivalent resistance and find power through one element by using our previous knowledge. So here I am given one circuit. 10 amps is the current source, 16 ohms, and 1.6 ohms, 4 ohms, 6 ohms. These are the resistors. So find the power dissipated at the 6 ohms. So power equal to V into I. V into I. V equal to, by Ohm's law, I into R. P equal to I square R. Okay. Find the current in 6 ohms. That is I 6 ohms. Then P equal to I square R. To calculate the power, simplify the circuit with series and parallel reductions, because 4 and 6 are in parallel, and the equivalent resistance found by the 4 and 6 parallel combination is in series with the 1.6. That combination is parallel with the 16 ohms. So 4 ohms and 6 ohms in parallel combination gives the 2.4 ohms. 2.4 ohms and 1.6 ohms in series connection gives the 4 ohms. 4 ohms and 16 ohms is in parallel. It gives the parallel combination 4 into 16 by 20, 3.2. So from this we can find the current 4 ohms, 16 ohms. So I naught equal to 60, total current is 10 ohms. Okay, we need current through 4 ohms, because that 4 ohms current is close to the 4 ohms and 6 ohms. The total combination of the 4 ohms gives the current to the 6 ohms, because the current which is flowing to 1.6 ohms is close to the 4 ohms and 6 ohms. So I will find the current through the 4 ohms. Then after that I will find current through the 6 ohms. So I naught is equal to total current. I know the current division rule. So what is current division rule? Total current into means 10 into. So I need to find current through the 4 ohms. So opposite to 4 ohms, that is 16 ohms by 16 plus 4. That gives the current through the 4 ohms, that is 8 amps. Okay, I know that the current at the 1.6 ohms, that is the total combination of the 4 ohms, that is at 1.6 ohms, gives the current, that is 8 amps. But I need to find out current through 6 ohms. How to find? 6 and 4 are parallel, but here the current coming to 6 and 4 parallel combination is 8 amps. So 8 amps here I am again applying the current division rule. 8 into, that is total current to the total current for the 4 and 6 parallel combination. 8 into 4 by 6 plus 4, because I am finding current through the 6 ohms. So opposite to 6 ohms is 4 ohms. So 8 into 4 by 6 plus 4. So this gives me 3.2 amps. So I know that power loss, that formula is P equal to I square into R. So first at first I already said that this formula P equal to I square R, that is 61.44 watts. So this is the simple formula basing on our previous concept, current division rule. Now network theorems. What is the purpose of network theorems? Before that we are having four types of theorems: superposition, Thevenin's, Norton's theorem, and maximum power transform theorem. But here, what is the purpose? Before that, why we have to learn these theorems? Because we know about basic concepts of KCL and KVL. While it is possible to find current through any element by using KVL, but if there is a large network and many number of sources are there, then it is difficult to find the current through each element by using KCL and KVL. So to simplify the calculation, these theorems are useful for the easy calculation. So by using these circuits, these theorems, we can solve the current through which element is required, we can find easily. So now I am discussing about the superposition theorem. Superposition theorem, it is applicable to only linear system, linear, active, bilateral systems. Okay, this is very important. In competitive exams, it gives like a question. It gives like superposition theorem is not applicable to non-linear elements. Okay, non-linear elements, it is not applicable. Okay, so superposition theorem states that in a linear system there are two or many sources are there. Two or more sources are there. To find a response in one element, by total response of each source by acting each source alone. Because see, once again I explain superposition theorem. Superposition theorem, it is applicable to linear, active, bilateral network. Okay, so it is applicable to two or more sources are there. The total response is in any element is equal to the sum of individual responses when each source acting alone. So means if there are two or more sources are there, so we want to find current through one element, then what we have to do? Consider only one response, one source at a time, then find the current. Next, find the current by using another source, then add the total response, that is the current through each element. So how to proceed? What are the steps included to find this to find the response through one element by using superposition is following. See here one diagram is there, that is 120 volts, 6 ohms, 3 ohms, 2 ohms, 4 ohms and 12 amps. So here two sources are there, and first we have to check first superposition theorem is applicable for this circuit or not. It is applicable to linear elements. Linear elements are there, 6 ohms, 3 ohms, 2 ohms, 4 ohms. These are all linear elements. Okay, one thing is over. Next, it is applicable to linear active sources are there, 120 volts, 12 amps. Active sources are there, active elements are there. Next, bilateral elements are there, 6 and 3 ohms. Resistors are bilateral elements. So I can apply superposition theorem to this circuit. So now we will solve this. We will solve this problem by finding the each element current through the each element response by using each source. So what we have to do, how to find? See here, application of superposition is shown in figure. That is, we have to calculate the branch currents. So for how we have to, there are two sources are there. If we write it by using KCL and KVL, if we write three equations are there. So it takes much time to solve those equations. So that the superposition is solved easily by considering the each source alone. There are here two sources are there, 120 volts source, voltage source, 12 amps current source. So what we have to do here? First, we have to consider only 120 volt source and remove the 12 amp source. Remove or deactivate the 12 amp source. What it means? Deactivating or removing a source means, in this, remember this important point for this superposition theorem or any theorem. If we are removing the current source, that means open circuit. If we are removing or deactivating the voltage source, that means short circuit. Okay. So by using this concept, now we will find the current through each element. By here, I am removing in this diagram, figure 2, I removed 12 amps current source and I consider only one voltage source, 120 volts. So now we will find the current through each element. So here V1 is the node. By using nodal analysis, V1 minus 120 by 6 means, in nodal analysis we will write voltage equations. So nodal analysis is I equal to V by R. Here V1 is the voltage and 120 volts is the voltage. In between resistance is there. So that is the potential difference between these 2 points give by resistance gives the current in the 6 ohms branch. So V1 minus 120 by 6 plus V1 by 3 means here ground potential is there. So V1 minus 0 by 3 plus V1 minus that 2 and 4 are in series, because I3 and I4 means I am given I am given notation for that those current I1 dash, I2 dash, I3 dash and I4 dash, because I am considering 120 volt source. That's why one source. That's why I am given I1 dash notation. So here I3 and I4 dash, I3 dash are same, because 2 and 4 are connected in series. Here this side branch is current source is open, so no current flows to that side. So now calculate the voltage V1, that is node voltage. V1 minus 120 by 6, V1 by 3 plus V1 minus 0 by 6, 2 plus 4. So equal to 0. From this we can get the voltage V1 equal to 30 volts. Okay. Now I1 equal to 120 minus 30 by 6. By substituting the equations in I1, I2, I3, we will get the currents 15 amps, 10 amps, 5 amps. Now in second step, now we will consider the 12 amp source alone, current source alone. So we have to deactivate the voltage source, that is 120 volts. So I already told that by removing the voltage source means short circuit. In order to calculate the current caused by the current source, we have to deactivate the voltage source with a short circuit. If it is a practical voltage source, if it is a wider voltage source. If it is a practical voltage source is there, what we have to do? We have to replace with its internal resistance. I already told at the time of voltage sources, practical voltage sources, it consists some internal resistance. Okay. So to determine the branch current, to solve the node voltage across the 3 ohms, 4 ohms shown in figure. So here two nodes are there. So V3, I am considering V3 at 3 ohms, 4 ohms, at 4 ohms I am considering as V4. So we have to write nodal equations V3 by 6 plus V3 by 3 plus V3 minus V4 by 2 is equal to 0. One nodal equation. By considering the V4 at 4 ohms resistor, V4 minus V3 by 2 plus V4 by 4 plus 12 amps, because current is going outside. So it is away from the branch. So we can take it as plus 12 amps. Because V by R means current. Here already current is given, so that we are adding the current to the equation. These two equations are there. By using these two equations, by solving those two equations, we will get the V3 equal to minus 12 volts, V4 equal to minus 24 volts. So here I am given I1 double dash and I2 double dash, I3 double dash and I4 double dash, because I am considering the second source. So that's why I am given I1 double dash. That is I1 equal to minus V3 by 6 from this equation. V3 by 6. So here V3 by 6, I1 means 6 ohms. I3 means 3 ohms. I2 ohm means 2 ohms. So like that we can find the currents through each element by using the sources. So by using superposition theorem, by using superposition theorem, it states that in that statement what it is given, the response in the one element is equal to the sum of total responses of the individual sources. Means I am considering first 120 volts, next 12 amps. So we have to add each response at each element. I1 in first element, so I1 dash plus I1 double dash. By this we can get the currents in each element. So this is the class for today. By using superposition theorem, we can easily solve the networks, many circuits. So it takes less time compared to the KCL and KVL. Okay. So this is the class for today. Thank you so much.